think about what we will do when we finally see the end of the Bush-Cheney administration. Because on January 20th, 2009, the next president will take the oath of office on the steps of the Capitol, and waiting in the Oval Office will be two wars, a war to end in Iraq and a war to resolve in Afghanistan, an economy that is not working for most Americans but sure is for the wealthy and the well-connected and the oil companies and the drug companies and the health insurance companies. That's exactly right. What about all the hard-working Americans, the middle-class Americans, the people who get up every day? I see an America where our dependence on foreign oil begins to recede because we've taken our destiny into our own hands. Where we have said that we are tired of being held over the $100 a barrel oil, and we're going to start working together. And the way we'll do that is by having what I have proposed, a strategic energy fund, funded by taking the tax subsidies away from the oil companies. The United States needs to be a leader in making the changes that are necessary. That's why I proposed a comprehensive energy plan. For those of you who are really interested, and I know that many of you in this crowd are, go to my website, HillaryClinton.com. Look at what I want to do with energy and to attack global warming. How we can be more energy efficient. How we're going to get those gas mileage standards up and enforced. How we're going to get 20% of our electricity from clean, renewable sources by 2020. How I will pull together the greatest greenhouse gas emitting nations and say that I will work night and day until we get a new global warming agreement. Because I see America where no one is uninsured or underinsured, where we have figured out how to have a uniquely American solution to get costs down and improve quality and cover everybody. I want to ask, how many of you know somebody who is uninsured? And let me ask you this, how many of you, maybe you yourself, have an insurance policy, you've paid your premiums, you've paid your co-pays, you've paid your deductibles, but the insurance company wouldn't pay your doctor or your hospital for the health care that you and your family need. You see, we've got two big problems, don't we? I proposed a way to solve them both. It's called the American Health Choices Plan, and it's pretty simple. If you have health insurance and you're happy with it, nothing changes. But if you are uninsured, or you don't have insurance that really is there for you when you need it or doesn't cover a pre-existing condition, then we're going to open up the Congressional Health Plan. We have a great coalition of business and labor, of doctors and nurses and hospitals and healthcare professionals, and we will take on the insurance companies and the drug companies and the Republicans. And if you hear any of the Republican talking points about how providing health care for everyone is like socialized medicine, I want you to ask them, well, isn't that interesting? I didn't know members of Congress got socialized medicine. If it's good enough for Congress, it is good enough for the American people. In America, I see we will solve difficult problems and achieve comprehensive immigration reform, not treat it like a political football. We know how to do this. We can secure our borders. We can crack down on employers who employ undocumented workers. We can provide more funding for cities like Albuquerque who have to bear the cost of education, healthcare, and law enforcement. I want to, as president, work with the countries to the south to help them create more jobs for their own people. You know what I said the other night in the debate? It took a Clinton to clean up after the French. one of their strong suits. And withdrawing troops and equipment is dangerous. We have to bring them out those same roads that have been the subject of so many attacks, where we've lost so many and so many have been injured. But we can begin to do it. I think we can take out 1 to 2 brigades a month. And we're going to have to also figure out what to do with our civilians who work for the embassy and work for businesses and charities who are there, 100,000. And we've got to also be sure that we take care of the Iraqis who stood with us. We get translators, marines, and soldiers, and riders, and did the work that often was essential to keeping our young men and women alive. And I also will make it very clear to the Iraqi government that they must start making the tough decisions for themselves. They can no longer rely on the American military. There is so much to be done, but I am confident and optimistic we can do this. There isn't anything America can't do once we put our minds to it. If we set goals again and work together to achieve them. You know, I have crossed the party lines time and time again. I've been willing to work in a bipartisan fashion to find common ground. There are thousands of kids in New Mexico who every month have health care because I helped to start the children's health insurance program. And the Republicans and the banks and the mortgage lenders ignore the problem of home foreclosures that are taking the dreams away from so many Americans. I say no, we should have a moratorium on home foreclosures so we work out keeping people in their homes. And we should freeze interest rates so that we don't continue to lose more homes and have vacant houses in neighborhoods in Albuquerque and across New Mexico. I am asking you to support me on Tuesday, to stand up for me. In this primary, I will stand and fight for you throughout this election because we know that the Republicans are not going to give up without a fight. And one thing you know about me, they've been after me for 16 years.